Bad news, it looks like Mojang is going to have to change the Nautilus already. This is a brand new mob coming in the Mounts of Mayhem drop, and currently the way it works is you feed it pufferfish, and then you can put a saddle on it, and then you can ride it around the oceans to your heart's content. However, feeding a Nautilus, a real-world animal by the way, a pufferfish is not a good idea, and someone has left a feedback post saying exactly that. And I've got to say, I don't like that the source they use is the Google AI overview, never trust that. But it is in fact true that tetrodotoxin, the thing inside pufferfish, is poisonous to most aquatic life, and even to you, which is why it's such a ridiculous dish, and why in Minecraft it gives you nausea. And so, is this the end of Nautilus eating pufferfish? Well, it certainly seems like it, because as we saw with parrots eating cookies, and perhaps more famously, frogs eating fireflies, Mojang are very cautious about adding features to the game that will encourage any harm to real-life animals. And sure, what are the odds that you're ever going to find a Nautilus in the real world and try to feed it a pufferfish? I think very unlikely, but at the same time, what are the odds that you would find a firefly to feed to your frog? I think that the answer is the same. However, I would also say there's a chance that Mojang don't change this because the world is less sensitive of a place. The internet has just accepted that you're allowed to do what you want and you're allowed to set a bad example, but Mojang prides themselves on doing the opposite anyway, and so is it going to actually change? I think the only answer we can give is that drop cycles are so short that it's hard for Mojang to make meaningful changes based on the feedback we get. This causes lots of problems, but it also means that maybe they're just going to keep it, even though it likely doesn't make any sense, because the Nautilus looks enough like a fantasy mob, and has a zombie variant just like any good fantasy mob, that maybe they could just argue, this is a fake Nautilus and he can eat pufferfish, don't worry about the real one. And ultimately, I would be happy with that resolution, but what do you think about this institution, and what should they do with this tricky issue? I think the answer is nothing, but tell me what you think down below. Or to the right there, maybe? I don't know where the comments are. I'm not very good at making short form video. I just treat it like it's a regular video, but much, much shorter and more condensed. Is that the way you're meant to do it? Probably not. But I hope you enjoy them anyway, because I do make more.